So lately, we've been talking about the difference between the United States and the United States of America. So, in this brief video, I want to make a distinguishment between the two. So, the states are the United States of America, and it created an agency in the Articles of Confederation. That agency is the United States. The United States of America had no force over all the other states, so they didn't have the right to force the other states to do whatever it wanted. So it had to create an agency, and that agency had a federal constitution. That agency is called the United States, and it has a federal constitution which was ratified by each of the states. That does not mean that it gave the states power over each other or to make laws for each other. It gave them, the states, when they come together in the United States of America and Congress assembled, the right to make laws over its agency, the United States. Now, when the states ratified the federal constitution, what they agreed to were the things that the federal government would be able to do on the federal lands once a state became a state, and it ratified the federal constitution. It was basically agreeing to have some fortifications built in the state, which would be under the control of the national government. So that in no way gave the federal government control over the states, because if you think of it that way, then we're into a cyclic situation where the states have no authority over each other. So they created an agency, and the agency is ratified by each of the states, and then each of the states agrees to the um, powers of the Constitution that was ratified by the states, but created by a thing that had no power over it. So it's sort of a cyclical, weird situation that most people don't understand, where um, they believe that when the federal constitution was ratified, it gave all these powers over each of the states, but that was not the case. It gave the federal government power over the forts that were being built in the states, and then some of the states agreed specifically not to interfere with those things that the federal government was doing, or it specifically agreed not to do some things that the federal government was claiming power to do. So the powers in the federal constitution are very, very limited, most of which take effect over the federal people on the federal lands. So this is an act for the United States Senate, or the United States of America states, Senate and House of Representatives and Congress assembled, that they're passing some things for its agency to go ahead and do over the military, which is a military of the United States, not the United States of America, which is a national military. The original oath for those people in the national military was to be loyal to the United States of America, but in service to or members of the United States. Okay, so it says, being enacted by the Senate and House of Representatives of the United States of America in Congress assembled. This is the enacting clause of the states, the United States of America. The federal agency, the United States, have a different enacting clause. I've showed you that in other videos. And this is that from and after the passing of this act, the following shall be the rules and articles by which the armies of the United States shall be governed. So the United States, the national government, the agency created by the United States of America. So we see the enacting clause, the United States of America is passing something for its agency, the United States, as applicable to its armies. Article 1, every officer now in the Army of the United States shall, in 6 months from the passing of this act, and every officer who shall hereafter be appointed shall, before he enters on the duties of his office, subscribe these rules and regulations. So they have to agree by contract, because the military is by contract and under oath to do certain things, including following orders of the commander in chief as president of the United States, who is also the executive officer of the United States of America. I'm not sure which book this is in. It's probably in a book on military rules and regulations, um, or congressional acts. It's just something I found on my computer, and I thought I'd talk about it for a minute. So like, share, and subscribe, and I'll be going over some more things like this here soon today.